Hi everyone, and welcome back to Carla. In today's video, we're tackling the cleanup. It's time to clear out the leftover material from the teardown. Claus gets to work with the angle grinder, cutting away the old bracings we no longer need. It's a satisfying step forward as we prep for the next phase. But here's the exciting part. We'll soon be making some big design decisions about the boat's future look, and we'd love to get your input. So stick around and don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. We really want to hear from you. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out a lot.
I think we'll start removing some of all this bracing we have in the boat. I was talking about it the other day in another video. Down here you can see, in order to support the floors going out, these bracings has been welded on, but we'll never be able to sandblast underneath them, and we'll never be able to measure the hull exactly under them. So I would like to remove them. As you can see, some of them are already half rusted away. Of course, the big beams we're not going to mess with, but we're going to remove this. With these three hanging ones, you can see they're just welded on top. So we'll just cut away and open up the space so we can get to the rust and the concrete and the the prop shaft and everything. So let's get going.
We kick things off in the aft, tearing out the bracings around where the old head used to be. There are a lot of support still left in this boat, and Claus has a serious mission ahead of him. It's a full-on grind, literally, and just between us, he was really feeling it the next day. Let's just say those muscles gotta work out. There's something really satisfying about clearing things out. Finally getting rid of those leftover braces means that we get a clean slate to work with. Not only does it look better, but it also makes everything way easier to access for the next stages of the restoration. It feels like we're really starting to move forward now, and that nice open space, it really is a game changer. With all the cleaning up we've been doing lately, the space is really starting to open up, and there's just something about a clean, cleared out area. It makes it so much easier to dream about what the boat is going to become. You know what they say, tidy boat, tidy mind. Now that we're actually seeing what we're working with, the ideas are starting to flow. Next up, the engine bay. Time to clean up around the engine and strip out the last of the old glass wool insulation. It's dusty, itchy work, but it really needs to go. We've got big plans to renovate the engine itself, and we're still debating whether or not to pull it out completely and send it off for restoration, or if we're going to do it ourselves. This is all a matter of time and money, as always. It's a major decision, so stay tuned. We'll be bringing you along as we figure out the best path forward. One of the next big jobs on our list is removing the prop shaft. It's a crucial part of the drivetrain, so we really want to make sure everything is in good working condition before we move forward. The prop shaft is one of those pieces of equipment you really don't want problems with once you're back in the water. There's a bit of heavy lifting involved, but it's all part of getting the boat back to her best. Once the shaft is out, we'll be able to inspect it properly and decide what needs replacing or restoring. Okay, we just have to take a minute to discuss something with you guys that has become quite a big issue. When we took out the windows, we had a good look at how they were mounted and the thickness of the glass. The glass was a little too thin for our liking, with only 6mm unlaminated glass, and the mounting was a little dodgy as well. We know that we have a budget to keep, but our main obligation in this rebuild is to make Carla as safe and seaworthy as possible. And when in the future we are hit by a storm, we really want to feel safe and secure behind the windows. First off, we have to make a decision about the small elongated windows in the front. Should we keep them as is, make them thicker, or replace them with standard ocean class portholes like we are doing in the back? Ocean class portholes are smaller and quite expensive, but getting a specially cut 10mm safety glass is also going to be quite costly. So what do you think we should do? Please write your answer in the comment section down below. Next up is the wheelhouse, and the first thing that springs to mind is the gigantic, almost greenhouse looking windows. These we definitely have to have specially made in the 10mm laminated safety glass. But the question is, should we make them smaller? As you can see here, we have made some crude sketches. One making them a little narrower, one making them a lot narrower, and one even narrowing in the sides as well. Now pause the video and get a good look and tell us which one you would choose, keeping both safety and looks in mind. The windows along the sides of the wheelhouse of course has to be made smaller as well to match the front, but what about the doors? We have had a lot of discussions about how to design a watertight sliding door, because we really need for it to be watertight. We have heard several stories about boats being cast over on their sides during a midnight squall, and in that situation, you really don't need the doors to leak. One way would be to design some kind of watertight, easy opening door. Or maybe we should just close them off completely and make a companionway in the back instead. This would bring the opening in towards the middle of the ship, and as an extra bonus, you would have a direct route to the helm in harsh weather, instead of having to traverse the sides to get there. Now we know that it will be a great loss to remove the doors, and it will make a completely different type of boat. But the safety gained in this is almost too great to ignore and would give us peace of mind as well. But what do you guys think of it all? Does the added safety outweigh the loss of the doors in the sides? All this is what we're currently trying to figure out, and if you have any ideas or suggestions, it would be greatly appreciated. But now I think we should get back to clearing out the boat with Claus. Now we're moving on to clearing out the old supports where the water and diesel tanks used to sit. That was a whole project on its own. If you're curious to see how we managed to get those tanks out, and trust me, it was a real balancing act, make sure to check out that video. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go back and watch the whole process. As you can see here, Claus is having quite a bit of problems with this piece of metal. Sometimes it feels like the parts we're trying to remove are determined to stay put. It's like they've become one with the boat. It definitely takes some serious effort and a lot of patience to get them out, but that's just part of the job. And bit by bit, we're making progress, even if some of the pieces put up quite the fight. Now we're moving forward in the boat, continuing the process of clearing things out. Claus is tackling even more of the old supports. It's all about opening up the space and laying the groundwork for everything that comes next. It's not always easy work, but every brace we remove brings us one step closer to a clean slate and a fresh start for this restoration project. In the coming videos, we'll also be turning our attention to the rest of the hull. We've got plans to carefully inspect it, including measuring the thickness of the steel throughout the boat. That's going to help us figure out if there's any areas that need repair or replacement. It's a crucial step, making sure the bones of the boat are still strong before we build anything back up. And speaking of moving forward, we're also getting closer to one of the most exciting parts of the project, making decisions about the final layout of the boat. Where will the galley go? Where should the head be? How do we want the living spaces to flow? It's a big step and one that's starting to feel really close now that the space is opening up. We've got ideas, but we'd love to hear yours as well. As for today, we're finishing things off with a proper cleanup, vacuuming up the last dust and clearing away the mess. There's something really motivating about ending the day with a tidy space. It not only feels good, but helps us see the progress we're making and focus on what's ahead. As I said before, tidy boat, tidy mind. Before we sign off, there's one last thing we want your thoughts on. That's the bow thruster. It's an older model and unfortunately it's no longer possible to get spare parts for it. So here's the big question. Should we remove it altogether and go without, or should we start looking into a modern replacement? Let us know what you think in the comments. Your advice could really help us in making the right call. Well, I think that's about it for this video. If you've got any suggestions, questions, or good advice for us, don't be shy. Drop a comment below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be the first to know when the next video comes out. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.